Welcome back to your favorite small automotive YouTube channel. I'm Nate and this is Enhancing Your Vehicle Ownership. If you guys have been following my channel for quite a while now, you know that over the last year and a half, I've been working on my project 1999 Audi A8 Quattro with the 4.2 liter V8 engine. What a great car it is and what a fun project it has been. There is probably a lot more content to come, as yes, this car is still very broken. Yes, I know that the front end is smashed and that the bumper is cracked and that my blinker light bulbs are completely exposed to the elements because the housings are gone. And yes, I know that my back passenger window will not roll down. I know that this window is cracked and I can't roll it down either. And let's just say there are a few other things like my armrest that has fallen off and whatnot that need addressed on this car. In my wife's words, this car truly is a piece of trash, yet I really enjoy driving it. Last week I gave you guys 5 reasons that you should get this car, or 5 of my most favorite things on a 99 Audi A8. And today I wanted to do a follow-up of that video and talk about my 5 least favorite things, or 5 of the things that I hate about my 99 Audi A8. And I mentioned all of the things that I know that are wrong with this car because I'm going to be talking about this car today in the video in general, or any 99 Audi A8, and not necessarily my piece of trash. And this was not the street that I wanted to get off on. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I cannot stand in this car while driving, or even just, I don't know, just being in this car, is the center console. Now, I do really like the design and the interior of this car. I love the premium feel of the materials. I love the fake vinyl wood grain. I love the padding, or the black stuff. I don't know what it's called. I even love the iconic Audi shifting knob here in the center, but there is simply no room to put anything. The cup holders are too small and they're too close to the armrests. So I don't know, the center console is really one of my pet peeves in this car. Now, the ashtray, I like how you can tuck it away and hide it, but I wish that to use your cigarette lighter you didn't have to have it open. I also wish, like I said before, that the cup holders were bigger, but I do really like how you can hide the cup holders, and I even like this removable tray that you can take out to clean or to wash. And then my biggest pet peeve with the center console is under the armrests is all of the storage that you get. It's a little, like, almost pencil-sized tray, about that big and long, and I'll show you guys, but there's really no room to put anything. I often find myself tucking my phone down here in between the e-brake and the cup holders because that's really the best spot for it, and it's not even designed for it, because if I put it in the ashtray it slides down, and if I put it here under the armrest then it's just awkward to get to when I'm on a drive. So the center console is the first thing that I hate about my 99 Audi A8. And the second thing that I hate about my 99 Audi A8, or number 4, are the headlights. Now, this has European style lights. My car's the Canadian model. Yes, I understand that, but I don't like them. They are not bright at all. Now, I live in Idaho and I'm from Wyoming, and you drive on the highway a lot at night. You don't really see a lot of traffic. The brights in this car, they're okay, but as soon as you turn on the dims, you simply just lose all field of vision, and at that point you just kind of pray and keep your foot down on the gas pedal. Another complaint I have are the fog lights. They do help you see, but for some reason they offer you 2 separate buttons. I think one of them is more straight out and one of them is more angled, but they don't really explain how to use them that well. And the lights in this car are super hard to figure out how to turn on because they're a tiny little lever here on my left side behind my blinker light switch. So it's a little awkward. Sometimes you turn the lights on accident instead of the blinker, or turn them off when you want to turn on your left blinker, and it's interesting. And even with the lights on, if you have the door open at all in this car with the lights on, yeah, there's a horrible buzzing noise that never goes away. Now, the third thing that I don't really like about the A8 is how hard these cars are to work on. Yes, that's probably an Audi thing in general, but this is probably one of the most difficult cars I have ever worked on in my entire life. Now, am I a competent mechanic? No, in any way, shape, or form am I a mechanic. I grew up on a farm. I grew up doing, you know, simple repairs and a lot of maintenance and stuff like that. This was probably the biggest repair that I've ever done, but let me tell you, it was a hard one. Even for someone that has some mechanical ability or some mechanical experience, these Audis are very difficult to work on. Now, people come under that misconception that parts for these cars are super expensive, and in a way, they're kind of right. This is not your average GM product. Parts for this car tend to be a little bit more expensive in some way, especially when dealing with the engine. What will kill you on owning an Audi, and especially the A8 or the 4.2 liter Volkswagen V8, is the number of hours spent on labor. That's what your huge repair bills from owning one of these cars is going to come into. Also, I hate how my A8 takes a special canister oil filter that costs anywhere from $10 to $30, and how it takes 7 quarts of oil. That's right, this car is more expensive to maintain. The thing that I hate the second most about my '99 Audi A8 Quattro is its automatic transmission. Now, this is the 5-speed Triptronic auto manual transmission, and you really can't complain about it that much, but oh, actually you can. Now, I think that this transmission probably was revolutionary at the time. It was probably pretty good. Keep in mind that the only experience I've had with this car has been a 20-year-old automatic transmission. The manual mode still works, and it works very well, but some of my biggest complaints are these. Yes, the Triptronic is supposed to keep you at the same speed when going up a hill without your need to push down in the gas pedal more or things like that, and the same goes for going downhill, which means that this 20-year-old transmission loves to randomly shift. You never really know what it is going to be doing. Sometimes you'll be going downhill, you'll be going faster and faster and faster until the transmission decides to shift down. Same goes with going up a hill. Sometimes you will be pushing on the gas more and more, and it'll be lugging, and suddenly it'll shift down hard, and you'll end up doing kind of a hard pull, not something that you had originally planned on doing. Now, I notice this the most when I go around corners. For some reason, the car cannot make up its mind of what gear it wants to be in when going around a corner. So you will turn, the car will stay in a high gear, you'll push on the gas a little bit more, it'll not really do anything, the engine kind of revs up and the car kind of, you know, inches forward, and then suddenly it'll shift down, and then it will shift immediately back up because it realized that it probably was too late for the downshift, and it just causes this whole odd surging type deal or thing that I can't really explain to you guys. It's something that only you would be able to notice if you were sitting in the driver's seat driving this car. But if that made any sense, you would think that putting it in its manual mode would fix it. This car has a manual or a sporty mode. You flip it over to the side and you can shift up or down based upon your desire, or at least you would think. Now, obviously this car is designed to protect its own transmission, which means it won't let you shift down into a gear that you have, or that you are going too fast for, that you have too high of RPMs for, or so you would think. I actually shifted it down from second into first the other day on kind of a quicker road, and I do kind of regret that because I went from like 2,000 RPMs to suddenly having like 7,000 RPMs. So that's a flaw in the transmission. Another thing is you put it in the manual mode because you want to be sporty, and if you're sitting at a light, as soon as you push on the gas, the car immediately or almost immediately shifts out of first gear into second gear for you without doing anything. And then after that, you have total manual control of it. But because of that reason, and because of its weird shifting desires as you drive, especially going up a hill and not wanting to shift up into a higher gear, the automatic transmission in this car is something that I hate the second most. And then finally, the number one most hated thing on my list for my 90s Audi or my 99 Audi A8 is its fuel mileage. Guys, this car does not get very good gas mileage. You've probably heard me complain about it in the past, and you've probably seen me complain about it on my Instagram page. Give me a follow, EYVO_auto. This car will get, if you're lucky, 15 miles to the gallon in town and 27 miles to the gallon on the highway. Now, that's what Audi claims. I have never once got 15 miles to the gallon in town. Am I the most conservative driver? Absolutely not. But even driving conservatively, I can get maybe 12 miles to the gallon in town. Now, I will say on the highway, I get much better. I do actually get the full 27 miles to the gallon. When I drove this car 300 miles from Wyoming to here through Yellowstone National Park, I averaged 27 miles to the gallon. So on the freeway or the highway, this car really doesn't get that bad. But if you're doing a lot of in-town driving, your overall average will be 11. My overall average is 15. It's a 22-gallon tank, so that's like 300 miles a fill-up. It's really not that good. And to make matters worse, this car is actually required to take premium fuel. This says you need to put in 91 or you can do super 95. Now, you have to run premium fuel in this car. I made the mistake once of putting 85 in here, I think, because hey, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, right? No, it does. If you don't put 91 in this car, well, it's not going to be running very well. Your gas mileage will suffer significantly, and you'll probably get a bunch of misfires like I did. So that's another thing that I hate, is that this car takes 91. That's usually 50 cents more a gallon than regular unleaded, which out here is like $3. But hey, if you live somewhere where it's way expensive, you probably wouldn't choose to drive this car that much. Those are the 5 things that I hate the most about my 99 Audi A8 Quattro. If you guys enjoyed this video, if it helped you make a purchase decision, go ahead and smash that like button. As always, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys hate about your vehicle, and check out my other video about the 5 things that I love the most about this car. I hope you guys are doing great, and I'll catch you in the next video.